Coming up in this episode, he was visited by the men in black and he was threatened into silence by them, and they destroyed any and all of the photographs that he took.
Imagine Area 51 was literally a place full of all the inventions that they took away.
Yeah.
Stanley Meyer created a fully functioning working car that used water instead of gasoline.
I don't get why hasn't he made another one?
Well, Prince Charles was very good friends with arguably the most prolific paedophile in history.
Yeah.
Within the next few years will be king of this country. When it all comes fucking crumbling down towards the end, every fucking person knew.
Yeah. It makes Epstein look like a fucking good guy.
I think that's one thing we have learned from today's episode. We've dipped into a few conspiracies, but ultimately we've come out realising that the world is fucking mental. APMA, we are back with another episode. This week is my week. And so I thought I would take us down a rabbit hole of conspiracies once again. This week is a little bit special, though, because we thought that, because it's conspiracy week, because one of the conspiracies is the men in black, those guys that turn up at your door if you spot a UFO, they will silence you. We thought we'd do a t-shirt to kind of
Pay homage.
Homage to the men in black. So we've done a black on black t-shirt APMA. It's beautiful. Black embroidery.
Nice.
Basically, I thought, I had this idea for a shirt for a while, because before I did the cream on cream, now there's a black on black. I like the subtlety. Do you know what I mean? I like that it's not too punchy, it's not too stand out. You almost have to squint.
Yeah, it's good.
To see this APMA. I like that. We're not in your face. So this is on sale right now. Go and grab the black on black APMA shirt. Okay, let's jump into some conspiracies, what we're all here for. And we may as well start off with the men in black. So, let me just grab my notepad. And have you guys heard of, obviously you've heard of the Hollywood movie, we all have, but have you heard of any of the folklore or any of the rumours surrounding the actual men in black, the people that turn up at your doors?
I've seen a couple of like UFO documentaries, and and I've seen that literally guys used to come to your door full in the black attire, suited and booted.
Yeah,
and all around. Where's the big place? Like
Roswell. And things
Roswell
like that.
Area 51. Loads of reportings of them, but.
It's crazy, but the weird thing is, and actually Ben, if you could quickly Google the men in black, like what they looked like, because they're apparently like alien-like, and their features are all really weird. Like, and like elongated heads and stuff, and that's why they wear their trilbies. Actually, our guy here, Lob Bazaar, you take a little look at his head. Look, see, they're all kind of like weird looking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Almost as if they may be from another planet, which we're going to get into here today. So, we have a few anecdotes from people. First one being Harold Dahl from 1947. And he was out on a boat with his son and his dog, just doing a bit of fishing. And basically, they looked up and they saw 6 donut-shaped UFOs. And he was taking photos of them, of course, because if you look up and you see 6 UFOs, you're going to take some snaps. If you've got a camera, one of them collapsed, and actually the debris hit his son and the dog, sadly, killing the dog. Very sad. And so later that evening, he was visited by the men in black, and he was threatened into silence by them, and they destroyed any and all of the photographs that he took. And so obviously, apparently, if you see a real UFO, these men in black will turn up to your house and interrogate you. And there have been so many reports of these, say guys, but potentially aliens, rocking up and doing this time and time again, which is very odd. So, and then there's another story from a US Air Force pilot, Albert Bender, who in World War II was doing his thing for the US Army, but he had a fascination with UFOs, right? So, by 1952, him and his brother founded the International Flying Saucers Bureau, and apparently they were making waves in this industry. They were investigating all sorts of strange goings-on. They were investigating UFO sightings. They even managed to attain some debris from some of these objects. Now, obviously, if we remember back to Bob Lazar, those pieces of debris and things could be tested, reverse engineered, and things like that. So these guys and this bureau that they created could have potentially propelled us hundreds of years technologically. So why didn't it happen? Well, a year after it was founded in 1953, Albert shut it all down. And it took a decade before he revealed why he shut his bureau down. And he said that apparently 3 men in black visited his home and communicated with him telepathically. So not a single word was spoken. They told him off with their minds. He was given a metal disc with instructions. Now remember, this is 1953, so there's no CDs and things like that. And they apparently shared information with him about the origins of the UFOs that he was studying. And this information terrified him so much, to such a degree, that he completely abandoned and stopped all of his research. He shut down the bureau. His lifelong fascination with UFOs died the day these men in black apparently came and just, all they did, they weren't even like, well, they might have been like, stop this, but the way they got him to stop was they revealed what these things actually are. So right, that's not great. He also claimed that the men in black were aliens from the planet Kashyyyk. And he has said on record, they aren't extraterrestrials, they are ultra-terrestrials, entities from an unimaginable other dimensions of reality. What's worse is they hate us as a species. We are like ants trying to perceive reality with very limited perception. We are like biochemical robots helplessly controlled by forces that can scramble our brains, destroy our memories, and use us in any way they see fit. And they have been doing it to us forever. So basically, we're all manipulated by these ultra-terrestrials, which aren't from another planet in space, but from another planet in another dimension, because we can only see on a 3-dimensional plane, and these things are
ultra-dimensional.
I mean, I don't even know how to process that, but yeah, so it doesn't sound great on that front. And essentially, these men in black sound like the aliens from these UFOs, and they're basically, knocking on doors and putting a stop to people that are seeing this shit. So yeah, that's not good. And there's actually video footage of 2 men in black walking into the lobby of a hotel, I believe. And, they've got the suit get up, they've got the trilby hats on, but people have described them as very, horrible to look at. Not quite right. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that level of disturbing where it's like something is just slightly off about them. So, that is the actual Men in Black. And there are theories that, like the Hollywood movies were kind of made to almost trivialize them.
Yeah.
Because for 2 reasons. One, it's more lighthearted, and 2, if you Google them, it just makes it a little bit harder, much like the Disney Frozen conspiracy.
Do you think that as a tactic, the government sending that? So we obviously know these guys do exist. But they could have sent some out, like with like some makeup and prosthetics
Yeah.
to like make them look a bit so that then they know people are going to start talking, and then you would fear them even more, wouldn't you? Rather than just your regular government. If you like potentially
hell.
this guy, obviously the mind reading bit is a fucking
Ventriloquist.
Yeah,
There you go.
can't explain
Little
that. But
recording.
if I was government, I would be like, right, guys, we're going out, but you're gonna make you look a bit like an alien,
Yeah.
and people will be terrified of you.
Yeah.
But you
That's
will,
genius.
yeah, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, that's yeah. You may have actually sold what a Men in Black is.
Mystery.
Yeah. No, that is pretty awesome. But it also, I feel like, 'cause obviously there are a lot of UFO sightings and things, and not everyone gets a Men in Black, the Men in Black turn up at their door. But does that give credit to the ones that do? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, they actually did see it, so that's why they had this follow-up kind of thing.
I watched a documentary on a similar guy who collected loads of stuff, and it was that element that we talked about before.
Element 115.
Yeah, so he was collecting, he found some of that, and he would scan. He had some sort of scanner as well that he would go around and find some sort of element that could only come from, like a specific, it's to do with aircraft.
Yeah.
And he would scan like the desert and shit, and he found loads of bits of that. I don't know if it's the same guy, but he had a visit from the Men in Black. It's a documentary I watched on Amazon, but I don't know if it's the same guy or whether it's someone different.
Fucking hell.
I wonder if because why would it scare you that much? Like what? The only thing that would scare me is if they knocked on my door and they were like, there's other aliens looking for this technology that will come down.
Ah, right.
No, they'll come for
what
you.
did they say? You mean?
Yeah. Because like if they were just like like the worst
Yeah.
thing that could happen is they come and knock on your door and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that happens, you're like, well, yeah, what are you just you boys? Is that it, sort of thing? But if what would they say that would further scare you?
Yeah.
That would,
Someone's
something's coming after you to get this. They'd have to. I don't know. Like why can't we? Yeah, why can't we see it? Is it because like maybe there's like two sets of aliens who are like at war with each other or something, and they're like, if they come down and we start saying that we've found this and we found that, and then maybe maybe they don't want other people coming down. We'd be snitching straight away, wouldn't we?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, because it is the fact they just told him the origins of the UFOs that he was studying, and it scared him that much that he abandoned everything.
Yeah.
So like you say, it could just be like, look, this species, they're bad news.
Yeah.
And they're
like
coming back
ants,
for their ship.
They
They're like,
wanna
look, we
take
see you
over.
as ants, you want nothing. These guys, they would just wipe you out straight away, just get rid of you. So
We're observing you. These guys would eliminate you.
Yeah.
we're
They got the spiky probes.
Yeah.
They're the scary ones. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that these people exist, because there is literally video footage of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how prominent sightings and meetings with these Men in Black have been in recent times. They seem more prevalent in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But then there was like a massive hike in alien sightings and things at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting. And if you follow the money, if they are, say, what you're saying, where they're dressing up to seem more scary than what they actually are, the US government, for example, were ploughing millions into UFO projects, and it would make sense, if they wanted to keep all this under wraps, that part of that would be to fund an organisation such as what these guys do, because it's essentially like a security team, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've seen something that you shouldn't, and so we're gonna sort it out. But yeah, so that is, in a nutshell, the Men in Black.
That's really interesting.
Thanks, Dan.
That's all right.
Appreciate it. Oh, glad you enjoyed that one.
I did love it.
Do you like water?
Do I like water?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's essential, isn't it?
It is. What if I told you could run your car on it?
Woo! Jeez.
Yeah.
I'll be all over that shit.
Renewables, especially in today's fuel crisis. So we've got Stanley Meyer. You might have heard about him. The dude that created a fully functioning working car that used water instead of gasoline. And he reckons that he could get across the country of the US with just 72 litres. I say just 72 litres of tap water. So that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Very impressive.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how, before we go deeper into it, right now, I know obviously inflation, all that good stuff, would it be a cheaper alternative? Because obviously your water bill would go up.
Yeah.
But would it be cheaper than fuel?
It would definitely be cheaper. Obviously, they'll probably tax the shit out of it.
Yeah, true.
Which is obviously fuel. But obviously, our fossil fuels and stuff, we burn them, they don't come back, do they? We burn it. Whereas water, no matter what you do to it, it will find its way back.
Yeah.
So technically, it would always be cheaper. But if we lived in that world, they'd just keep taxing it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get a bottle of Evian for 50p.
But then it would be difficult because it's
Does it come back though?
Water.
Like, would it come back if the way he was using it?
Well, yeah, water. It'll come back somewhere.
Because imagine he done it where it was like it was using water, but then it weren't coming back, and then you'd know.
Well, like it just burnt up.
I don't know how it would work, but I just
but that's it. You can't. It's within the planet, so all the water might. It will go up and get used, and then it will come down. Yeah, it'll always be recycled.
But then if every car on the planet was using it, I know it would come back, but like the demand for water would be a joke,
it would like I say, it would be very difficult, and also it'd be weird. Like I say, they would tax it, but then it's like, well, if it was just pure water that you could get from your drinking tap, but then they would probably say you need special water that's got no chlorine in it because that'll damage the engine, and they'd get around it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, they'd tax the absolute shit out of it.
But yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it could be possible.
Yeah.
You had a steam engine, didn't you? I know it doesn't run off steam, but the components,
the principle is there.
Yeah.
I don't get why hasn't he made another one?
Well,
this is it.
Well, obviously, if this became mainstream, the oil industry would essentially be obsolete, and we know the bigwigs of the oil industry, they like people to use oil so they can continue making their money. So Stanley, tragically, mysteriously, died meeting potential investors, and he apparently took a sip of cranberry juice at a restaurant and then sprinted out of the restaurant to get some air, collapsed, choking, and had a heart attack outside. As he was dying, his brother was with him, and he uttered the words, "They poisoned me." So I wouldn't put that past the government, the bigwigs, etc. at all, because you're looking at something not just revolutionary, but that would literally change the fabric of the human race and history, the course of history, and the readjustment of positions of power and money and all that sort of stuff with the oil industry becoming obsolete would be, I think, too large.
It's weird though, because it's kind of happening with electric, but then look how electric's shifting now to become more and more expensive through whatever means that they're saying. But like the sun power, if you've got the components to convert it, once you've bought those components, is actually would be easier than water, because it would be literally straight into your power source and then charge it up.
To cry to go to the shops.
But yeah, if you needed water for cars, I think it. I don't know. Yeah, it just seems like they would make it so difficult getting water. I think they would. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to have normal water in it. They would change it up. So
there would be something in there that you would need.
Yeah, like the the diesel when they like the AdBlue shit.
Oh yeah, what is this AdBlue stuff?
It was anyway? It was to be more
for lorries and stuff.
And cars. Yeah, all cars need it now.
The new cars.
All the new cars need it. Yeah. Your Merc used to have it, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a component that
was extra.
Yeah, you have to pay. Yeah. It's all new cars you put.
And when it runs out, your car doesn't start up.
Yeah, the car just will refuse to move.
What? Like, there's no AdBlue. It's like but I don't need it.
I think it's something to do with, doesn't it, aid in lessening the emissions of the diesel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So it makes the diesel better for the environment.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah. Again, it's, if you looked into it, I bet there's some good conspiracies.
Because originally we were told, like back in the day, that diesels were more healthy for the environment.
Yeah.
And they turned out they weren't. So everyone bought diesels, and it's like, oh, we're just going to add this thing called an AdBlue in, so you have to pay a little bit extra.
That's what I'll tell you.
That's my worry with electric. That once like enough of us have got it, and it's like,
well, you've just hit the nail on the head there with the electric prices going up.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
Oh shit!
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the price of the cars. No, of course, the price of actual electricity itself.
Yeah.
Which has just been hiked through the fucking roof.
Because electric cars are becoming.
Yeah.
Obviously, since
they're you see them everywhere now.
Yeah.
So
Tesla
they're like, oh yeah. By the way, now electric is going up.
Whoa. But also as well, the electrical companies, like, it isn't costing them anymore to produce the same amount of they're still their raw cost to produce
is the same,
exactly the same, but obviously it's the fact to do with the markets and obviously Russia, but they're massively benefiting, obviously as everyone as a whole, because everyone has to buy it from the same place. It all goes up, but they're raking it in.
I saw something where apparently, like, the electric, I might butcher this, but the electric companies have like a stock market where you can like buy and sell energy, and like, I'm pretty sure it might have been China or some country, I'm not too sure what it was like just buying loads of it.
Yeah,
and we were just selling it, like, and that's why the price of electric's gone up, because we sold loads of it to someone else. And
but we sell
now they sell it back.
Now they sell it back for more, and it's like all these people,
we sell loads.
All these people have sold our, but it's all just forgot. You know, again, it's like the stock market, isn't it? It's all just It's like
we sell.
It's not actually, they haven't actually got the electric and gone, right, we're shipping that over to you. It's just there's like
the
a
ownership.
The ownership's all just gone all over the place, and it's like now we
always do that. The UK.
And it's like
we fuck ourselves.
Yeah,
we've sold parts of the North Sea. So obviously that's our oil, but we've sold loads of it off in sections to other countries. We've sold obviously all our water pipes and stuff. Like, we've sold loads of them to like France and stuff. So we just get charged loads of money for our own stuff. Like, that's ridiculous amounts. Short term, like real short term thinking.
Just selling it all off.
Scandinavian countries are like the opposite of that, where they always think like they want to keep it all in house. So I think Denmark. Again, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm sure that they burn all their rubbish for energy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which is fucking brilliant. I'm like, why can't, if that's a system that you can use, like there's always queues at the tip.
Don't we sell our rubbish to them?
We've got a massive problem with our rubbish that we have to ship it all out.
And they burn it for energy.
Which makes sense. It's like, in this day and age, burning stuff, you're converting it to energy. So like, surely... I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there's cleverer people than me that could sort it out. And we've got a huge problem with paying to get rid of all our rubbish. It's like, that would be such a good solution.
Yeah.
And the technology is there, but again, it's like government and stuff. And
the government basically make all the rules at the end of the day, and if it doesn't make them money, then it like there's 100% this we could be self-sufficient, but it's just they're just fucking idiots.
And just going back to the electric car thing, I think there's going to be an issue with charging.
Yep, there is. Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you're on the road and you go to a petrol station, you fill up 2 minutes, you're done.
100%.
With a charger, you got to wait at least 15 minutes to get like an extra hour to a half hour of range. It's going to get...
that's already started.
Yeah.
I've got a mate who's got a Tesla and he travels around the country, and it's the only issue at the minute. And I'm like, well, it's early days, and that's
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
minute. Obviously, the technology's getting better, so you got faster chargers and stuff. But
Yeah.
but then also, I don't know why I thought this, but obviously, whenever you charge up, like you pay extra for like a faster charge.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of, it's cheaper than fuel, but it's still the faster the charges get, well, the more expensive, for convenience.
Yeah.
Because
aren't the electric cars themselves like considerably more expensive than regular
at the
cars?
minute, yeah. They are coming down, and like they're getting closer and closer, but they're still. And then the second-hand market will sneak in and soon. Also, I don't know. I was thinking about like obviously your car, your scrap car, you can just crush it. Obviously, an electric car, it's got lithium battery in it, so you can't crush that. You probably have to pay.
Isn't there an issue as well with
lithium,
getting rid of lithium batteries?
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I imagine, and it's probably something you don't really think about at the moment because it's it's
who would crush a new Tesla?
Yeah, 10, 20 years off. But when you get to it, like it might be like, oh, you got to pay $3,000 to get rid of your car, or like because lithium. You can't fuck about with lithium.
Fucking hell.
I actually think the older cars are gonna become valuable because there's companies now that they put they can put an electric engine in like an older car.
Oh, right.
Because an old car is usually just down to the engine and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like collectible old classic cars and stuff. The thing was, I'd like one, but it'll probably break down all the time. But now there's companies that sort of revamp them, put all the electric engines in, like the brakes, the regenerative brakes, and it's basically like a new car, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't scrap your car just yet. Just wait.
Old cars are definitely going up.
That's what they're going up. And once they start doing this,
at the minute is ridiculous.
Because
it is.
why would you spend $30,000 or whatever on like a new Mini or if you can get like an old one and then convert
stick it into
that would be much cooler.
And
have like pretty much the same car. It's a little bit expensive at the minute to get them converted, but that price will come down.
Yeah, naturally.
And I actually think the classic car market, or just old cool cars that that you'd want to drive around, are going to go up.
Yeah, because otherwise that with the whole, is it 2035 or 2040 or 2030, one of them, where no more. I think it's no more petrol cars will be sold, and then after that, about 10 years after that, it's like no more on the road.
Yeah.
So you're not even they're gonna be so obviously rather than them being relegated to either a garage or a track, I guess, doing that and being able to electrify your old cars but there'll probably be a booming market for it.
Yeah. I think it has. I've been watching a company that started doing it on like Instagram.
That's
smart. And like they've been.
Yeah, it's cool.
Their warehouse and stuff is great.
That is pretty sick.
I messaged them and they were like, I think it was like $35,000 for like a small, like a Mini or a Fiat 500 or something.
Yeah.
And it can go up to like $90,000 for like a bigger vehicle, but if you've got the money, I've been watching some of the cars. They've been doing like Ferrari Testarossas, and
nice.
cool fucking cars. But
so
if you've got that much money to buy a Testarossa, then to get it changed over, and then you can drive it around, and Testarossa usually probably break down or something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine the electric bill when everything's going electric, when all the cars are electric.
Yeah.
I think electric bills are high at the minute.
Yeah. But this is the thing. So like going back to the water conspiracy, because this is quite interesting.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, but it does all kind of link in, but it almost disproves this in a way, because let's just, unless obviously times were different then, I think it was just the late 80s, early 90s, I think. So let's say the big wigs in the oil industry killed off this water car. Why haven't, if they have the power to like stamp out these technologies, surely they would have done it with electric cars. Do you know what I mean? Because it's gonna.
Yeah, I think you're right what you're saying. I personally think they probably did then, and I think they probably stamped out a load of electric cars and I just think it takes someone special, and we're at that swing in age where, like, back in the day, like bigger corporations had control of stuff, whereas like now with social media and different things, like
it's starting to come
you
away
got
from
these
it.
influencers who, like, Elon Musk essentially is a big influencer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like what he says, he holds massive power.
Without
so like,
Elon, I
but
don't
he was
think the
almost
electric car-
bankrupt with, and it's like to get Tesla off the ground. And there's been a few times where Tesla almost went bankrupt, and like, trust me, there's guys or there's people out there gunning for him to go bankrupt and working and making sure that he does. Like, there's a lot of people that benefit from him not succeeding.
Yeah.
Well, there's loads of people who short the stock of.
Short.
Tesla.
But he got the right people on his side. But he was very close, man. Like, I remember watching. He put his house on the line. He put all his personal assets to cover Tesla.
Yeah.
And he was going to go fully bankrupt himself, and he managed to get through. It was like, went down to the wire. It was like within a few hours or something that he managed to like recover from it. So there's definitely people. I reckon there's probably been loads stopped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one that there's two ways that I want to go here. So I'm going to go. Basically, I want to talk about Nikola Tesla, but I also just want to quickly talk about the fact that fucking, speaking of Elon Musk, he's just bought, like, he's the highest stakeholder in Twitter now.
Yeah.
Just spent $3 billion.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Was it 9% or something like that?
Yeah.
And again,
like, what's the move there?
But it highlights my point about the social
maybe,
media.
Like, trying to cancel his voice.
Yeah,
he probably thinks because Twitter's his like main thing. So he maybe, you know, these people might have been putting pressure on him to like stop posting about certain things.
So it's like, I'll fucking buy the
yeah. So he's like, look, well, if you know, because you see people, don't you? They're on these social media platforms and they get messages like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, if I buy it,
it's mine.
Do whatever the fuck I want.
He's a majority. Obviously, it's clearly split quite small because he's only 9%, and he's got the majority. But he's got a seat on the board, everything.
If you think about like a political move, like Trump.
Yeah.
Trump was his main thing was Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he got removed off.
Yeah, and that's like that was it. That, you know, that could keep him in power having the Twitter right. So like Elon Musk is like, well, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, well, imagine if Elon was said to like Trump, like, look, I can get you back on Twitter, I own it, but I just need you to like sign off this space army or whatever. I don't know. Like, it's actually an incredibly
it's a good move.
Getting Twitter, because Twitter's basically the news, isn't it? Really?
And it's cheap. That's a cheap that for that amount. That is cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it seems a lot, but
but to a man, I think he got 250 billion, something like that.
And it'll put. I don't know whether it'll change it, but I know that they run ads and stuff now, Twitter. So
he might, you know, BMW's new electric car,
267.
Yeah. BMW's new electric car might not get as many views on Twitter or whatever. He might, you know, if he owns Twitter, he might be able to sort of
manipulate
it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when like Google bought YouTube, and it was like, I can't remember how much, like 8 billion or something in the bit, and everyone was like, wow, that's so much. And it's like, I think they make it like per week or something. In ad revenue.
Yeah, exactly. Like Disney acquired Star Wars. I think they made it back in like a couple of weeks on just fucking like figures.
Yeah, that was and that was
ridiculous.
cheap. That was like 3 billion or something.
Yeah, no, like I bought it from Lucas Films, and it's crazy. But yeah, what a move that was. I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah, clever.
But like you say, that is his domain, isn't it? That is where he does his business, which is very smart. But just about like silence and things like, you know, the whole Nikola Tesla thing. He apparently found infinite energy in the dark matter, like the space between space. And he figured out how to make unlimited free energy. And then next thing you know, he's no longer here, and all of his assets are seized, and then it's all this
stifled.
Is why
I know I said the other week we were talking about like the universe and that.
Yeah.
Don't know off tangent, but if Elon can like tap into something out there that's like, because there's so much power.
Yeah.
Once he can tap into harness something. And work it out, it's like, you know, like I was watching a documentary on a nuclear submarine, and it's obviously it's the whole lot is powered for 6 months just by its own nuclear reactor. So it's just self-sufficient energy for. I mean, imagine if you could harness that so it wasn't dangerous and put it in a car. Yeah. And then you've got no. I imagine if we got the best people in the world, we probably could do something like that.
Yeah.
Like something small, whether it be nuclear or something else, into a car, where it's just self-sufficient.
I just had a thought.
Oh.
Imagine if Area 51 was literally a place full of all the inventions that they took away.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we don't want to destroy it because it's powerful.
Yeah.
But we can't have it out there. So what we need to do is protect all these things.
Mask it up.
When the day comes where, people stand up against us, we've got all these crazy inventions to sort of bring out to the world. And actually aliens was a conspiracy
by them.
That we're
explain
thinking about our aliens and stuff at Area 51, but actually it is the water car.
And the fucking Tesla coil and shit like that.
Tesla and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we're all just fucking being stupid. Aliens are not even real because the Earth's flat.
That's it. David, we love you.
We love you, David.
Please come back.
The thing they're saying all about the electric cars. I want us to have like drone cars. Like, surely that's not too far away.
That's what I always thought growing up. Like my uncle said to me, like by the time you learn to drive, there'll be flying cars.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I was like, definitely by the time I'm like 30, we'll have gutted.
Yeah,
and I can't. It's not even in sight in the minute. I think the cops use them in like, is it Dubai or something?
Flying cars,
like drone. Fucking, I'm sure. Unless it was like a
Ben, you're gonna have to Google that.
Have a little Google.
There is actually a flying car that is.
There's drone cars. Yeah,
there's one now, isn't there? That's a proper fly. It's a car, and it fucking the wings come out and shit in it. Yeah.
Well, these are drone. These are drone cars. These are like, so it's like drone. Like your drone. It's got It's got your 4 things.
What?
This is for
the audio listeners. We're looking at a man on a quad bike drone.
Yeah, that thing. Flying cars in Dubai. Yeah, those things.
What?
They're
because
fucking sick.
if you think about it,
what?
Airbuses.
Right, a drone, right, is they're so small.
Yeah,
and the wind, they've got the technology to sort of keep them stabilised.
Yeah.
A bigger one would be a lot more stabilised.
Yeah.
They've got all the technology to be able to land them, move them around, like not hit stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Why can't they just make a bigger version of?
That's a great point.
I mean,
that's the world I want to live in.
Maybe it's just the collision.
Insurance and stuff.
It's like, but then again, there's helicopters.
But even on your drone, it's got your little mini drone for a couple of grand. It's got so many sensors on that it'll fucking. You can protect it. Like,
now we're talking. This is James Bond shit.
These are cool.
BMW.
I mean, I'd rather
this is legit.
Real.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that.
Oh my word!
The wings on that, it looks a bit like I don't know, a chicken or something. It looks like it shouldn't be flying.
See that
for
looks
the audio
like
listeners, Google BMW engine flying car.
That looks like some crazy person on Dragon's Den, doesn't it?
Someone's made it. Someone's made it in his backyard.
I'll give you 3%. Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking quality.
I mean, that's a challenge for us, if anything.
Make a flying car. That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be. We should try that.
We'll do it. Right, guys, I'm going to take us to a break. And then when we come back, we're going to have a few more conspiracies for you. See you in a bit. APMA, we're back. Now, I want to talk about something. I was watching... This is a conspiracy, I guess. I'd say it is. Because I sort of like had this like fucking mad realisation. So, I was watching, and I know you boys haven't seen it, so I won't spoil it, but I'll talk about a certain element. The Jimmy Savile documentary that's on Netflix now. I binged it. Unbelievable. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The bit that stood out to me, and the bit I'm going to talk about now, is how close Prince Charles and Jimmy Savile were, right? They would exchange letters consistently. They were in the public eye quite often. And in this documentary, some of Prince Charles's letters to Jimmy Savile are read out by this woman who inherited them from Jimmy. And it's quite something because... In all fairness to Charles, the letters and stuff are perfectly innocent. The contents of them are around basically Charles essentially would ignore his own advisors and ask Jimmy Savile for advice on how to behave in public, what to say in public speeches, what to do, how the royal infrastructure should be structured to, do certain things with the public, because I guess he kind of saw Jimmy Savile as this successful public persona, and he wanted to bridge the gap between the royals and the common person.
Yeah.
So there was a deep bond there between them, and bear in mind that whilst these conversations, these letters, this reliance of Prince Charles on Jimmy Savile was happening, Margaret Thatcher, who was Prime Minister at the time, was really pushing, who also had a very strong relationship with Jimmy Savile, was pushing for Jimmy Savile to be knighted, right? Wow. Now, the Queen kept rejecting it because these dodgy rumours around him, he likes little girls. So what I'm saying is, Prince Charles had this very strong relationship with Jimmy Savile, whilst knowing full well, because his mother refused to knight him at the time. He had an OBE, I think, but she refused to fully knight him because of these rumours that circulated. That to me seems a bit off. Fast forward to a certainly a royal piece of shit, Prince Andrew, who has obviously been absolutely destroyed, rightfully so. I have to rightfully so, for being very close friends with a well-known prolific paedophile.
Yeah.
Prince Charles was very good friends with arguably the most prolific paedophile in history, certainly in this country. One of them has, rightfully so, been cancelled and will never see the public eye again. The other one, within the next few years, will be king of this country.
Yeah.
That, to me, I don't understand why no one is talking about this.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is there not like a massive parallel there between Andrew and Epstein? All right, I know that there are allegations against Andrew, and there are obviously the pictures and stuff with the 17-year-old girl and all that sort of stuff, and there isn't any of this that I'm aware of with Charles, but the main fact that he was asking for advice, in constant communication and good friends with a prolific paedophile, and we're still just like, yay, Charles is going to be coronated soon, or whatever it is.
Fair play to the Queen. What a legend.
What, for putting up? Oh, for putting off? I mean, she did knight him eventually.
Did she? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. Fucking
he was Sir Jimmy Savile when he died. Yeah.
Was that? Did they say that she wasn't doing it because of the rumours?
So that's literally what it says in the documentary. So basically, Margaret Thatcher, during her, what do you call it? Tenancy, I don't know, reign, I don't know, as Prime Minister, every year, you should knight Jimmy Savile. No, it's a bit dodgy. You should knight Jimmy Savile. No, it's a bit dodgy. Her final year, you should knight him. Fine. Okay.
Oh, that's not on, is it?
And even, I mean, Jimmy Savile, man. I mean, oh, man, he's just a despicable cunt. But even on the day he was knighted, they show footage where he's, like, joking around. That, like he always used to make this joke. Oh, my case comes up next Thursday. That was he's like running joke, but he's like joking with the police, like how the fuck has he got this, and all this stuff. And it's just like, man,
I mean, I want to watch it because I'm interested in it.
Yeah, for sure. We won't go too much, but I just wanted to fixate on there. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, and I guess this really is shoehorning it a bit, but it's because I watched it last night and it just like literally blew my mind. I linked Epstein, Andrew, Savile, and Charles, and then you look at the outcome of Andrew, again, reiterate, rightfully so, but then you look at Charles and he's like adored, and it's like, well, fucking hell.
Is there any more brothers?
Edward. Who's he been mates with Gary Glitter? Fucking
keeps a low
groupie.
profile.
But yeah, it's just fucking, I don't know. I mean, I know there are a lot of royal fans out there. I know the monarchy's a big thing. It's just my opinion. I just don't get it. I think it's archaic. I don't think we need it anymore. And if anything has been shown, they can't be fucking trusted.
That's the thing. I like having a monarchy, but I don't like finding out shit.
Can't we get a new
like
one?
This? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like back in the day, I swear you just stormed the palace and not saying decapitate, but you stormed the palace and you kind of took over the gaff, and now you're the king.
Yeah, like Game of
right?
Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
cut that.
yeah. If I get sniped,
No,
you
but
know
is
I was
that-
getting too close to the truth.
you know, is that a thing? You know, can you do that?
I bet it's still in the rule books.
Is it like? Because I think
Rules of
like,
this game.
I've seen,
Or
like,
has
the
it
building.
been like just families marrying throughout the things, or back in the day was it you just
Yeah,
just
because
sort of-
you had like the French used to come over, didn't they, and have a pop
is it? I've seen like
all the time.
William and Harry.
Get Macron over it.
I don't mind them. I quite like.
Yeah,
both of
Harry's
them.
cool.
Harry's cool. Yeah, but and I might. So like, back in the day, well, I don't think people used to like Charles too much. Everyone liked Diana, didn't they? They didn't really like Charles. But I'm just thinking, is it a case where back in the day people liked them, like kind of like we like them now, and then as time goes on, and you just find shit out about them, you're like, oh no, they're actually, Harry.
what, like people saw Charles like we see. Harry
Yeah, but
sort
then
of
I
thing.
think about my
Right,
nan. Like my
yeah.
nan used to love the Queen, but she always hated Charles. I can't ever really see. I can't remember a time when everyone was like, "Oh, I love Charles."
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't. I mean, again, it's not
Yeah,
really
I
from
don't
my
either,
era,
to be
but I
honest.
don't remember a time when everyone was like,
I've never met anyone who likes him.
No, he's
That's a good
yeah, and no, and what's his wife called? Camilla.
Camilla.
Yeah, no one really.
She's not our die, is she?
Yeah, everyone loved Diana, but
Maybe,
yeah, like
maybe Diana found out that fucking Charles was a nonce.
yeah, I feel
There we
like it'd be nice if
Allegedly,
they could
possibly,
skip.
maybe.
Yeah, Charles.
Allegedly, possibly, maybe.
Charles being king.
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
it's crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I guess to play devil's advocate, you could say, Jimmy Savile. No, you can't. I was saying, Jimmy Savile, master manipulator, pulled the wool over Charles's eyes, but his mother was literally refusing to knight the cunt. So it's like for those specific reasons. I hate to use that word. I apologise to all the sensitive listeners, but we're talking about Jimmy Savile here, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Bit of a free
People
pass
would
now.
have
Hey, Matt, right, your best
within
friend.
that circle.
Your best friend.
You would hear, like I say, you'd hear stuff. And there's no
that's-
way.
I don't want to spoil anything, but that's when it all comes fucking crumbling down towards the end. Every fucking person
Everyone
knew.
Yeah.
They all
And they always do.
knew.
Like Kevin Spacey and all those, like
Yeah.
like Hollywood stuff. Like
If you're,
they
if
all
you're
know. They
all
yeah.
fucking
R.
know.
Kelly. It's like
yeah.
it's like oh yeah. Oh, we knew. Yeah, he used to
Oh,
get to
yeah, yeah.
McDonald's and sit and like
Yeah.
wait for the young girl, and it's like oh yeah, everyone knew that. It was like a running joke, and it's like it's a fucking
It's fucking
It's like paedophile.
insane.
like
It just blows my fucking mind, man. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought like, oh my fucking God, we've all been fixated on Andrew because obviously Epstein's a fucking piece of shit. That goes without fucking saying. But Jimmy Savile, like fucking hell, and Charles was literally asking him for advice. What should I do in this situation? Like,
I feel
fucking
like
hell.
Charles
He probably
as well.
wrote back like, pick the youngest you can find. Like fucking hell.
I feel like Charles is super protected. I still imagine
Yeah.
even nowadays. I feel like anything linked to him would get
Well, he's going to
crushed.
be the king, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's either
What a
he's
f-
got to be
this
super clean or
depressing,
like
really.
stuff will just get crushed.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. Oh. Imagine being like, I'm not sympathising at all, but imagine being fucking Andrew. Like, he's obviously being rightly so, and I don't know, rightly like put to the fucking bottom of the pit. But he must be like, you're becoming king, and you were fucking mates Jimmy Savile.
Yeah,
How is this fair, mum? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
Jimmy Savile.
money. Yeah. Oh, I mean, fucked a lot of them, man.
He makes Epstein look like a fucking good guy.
I mean, it's just fucked, isn't it? It's all Well, this is the thing that I love about, conspiracies and just looking into this sort of shit, because they're called rabbit holes for a reason, and you just kind of get to a point where you just realise everything is fucked. The
Yeah.
system is fucked. It's all rigged. And it's just
It's a conspiracy until it's not.
until it's
Yeah.
not. Until it's fucking there
I do think those
in front of
rooms,
you.
those
Oh,
rooms,
man.
those meetings, like when you've got so much money at play and so much power,
Yeah.
and it's like they can kind of do what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
like
It's literally...
there's so much shit we don't
Yeah.
know that
They've got so
happens.
much
It's
fucking money.
literally,
Yeah.
it's in the documentary. They literally say that there's a certain status And apparently they all brag about it, laugh about it, joke about it, and Jimmy managed to get to that level. It's where you do literally become immune. You can do whatever the fuck you want, and at least it certainly was in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
And now we're going the other way, where look what Jimmy's holding, and he was, and now you're getting people cancelled for saying one wrong thing. They've got a perfectly clean history, done loads of good stuff, give loads to charity, and they say something. I'm not even going to say anything.
No, but I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like it's like a pendulum swing, isn't it?
It is.
Whereas but then you think about, I mean, fucking hell, I think there's been over 450 victims come forward since 1952 is like I think the earliest and it's just like, how the fuck that guy got away with all of that?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we'll swing back a bit, and it's like, when you give people power, they're like, we're like, right, fucking, we've had enough of these absolute wrong-uns. We're gonna cancel. You did one thing wrong, you're done.
We're just gonna rip it all out, rip it all out. We're just
gonna cancel everyone.
Fucking hell.
But I mean, even R. Kelly, like. Up until recently, he still had an Instagram and stuff, and it's like there's still people still going to his shows and stuff, and it's like
there are people outside.
He has got
all of his until he's obviously in prison now, but outside all of his trials and that free R. Kelly, all that sort of stuff.
Free R. Kelly.
That is an interesting question that you kind of posed there, Jimmy, and it's similar with like R. Kelly certainly, but like Michael Jackson stuff. Like, can you separate the man
from the music?
Almost
sounds like a song.
I can't listen to R. Kelly now. I just can't.
Not R. Kelly. But
not R. Kelly. But I feel
MJ. No, because the thing is, they don't play him anywhere, and it's not like you ever just sit down and go, might just slap on a bit of
MJ.
I feel what
Thriller at Halloween.
MJ,
maybe Thriller at Halloween. Yeah. Maybe that's the.
It's a weird one, isn't
it? MJ, I still.
I mean, he was never convicted.
That's the thing. There's so much, but
around
it's a bit murky, and there's still a chance. For me that whereas the others, I'm like, nah. R. Kelly, there's no chance. These other.
Have you listened to? I wanted us to do an episode on it, right? Because it's so long. Did you ever listen to that R. Kelly music series that he did? It's like a story, and it's episodic. And it's fucking ridiculous, and it is fucking hilarious, right? So it's like the whole thing is R. Kelly singing, and it's like, and it always ends on like a cliffhanger, and it's like, I think the first one is like cheating on his girlfriend in his apartment, and it's like, and we were making love, and then she walked in, and then it ends, and you're like, oh my god, his girlfriend just walked in, and then the next one is like. And so what I did before she walked in is I got the girl to hide in the closet, and now she's hiding in the closet. But then she opens the closet, and then it'll go to the next episode, right? And then honestly, and it keeps going. It's like she found her in the closet, and I got out my gun, and I put in my gun, and like all this sort of shit. And then like somewhere down the road, like. A priest comes, and then it turns out the priest is gay, and like it's all just like it just honestly it's just left turns, right turns, like it's insane, and it just shows R. Kelly's mind.
That's the promo for the episode.
That's it. Honestly. We were making love, and then she walked in. We were making love, and then she walked in. And so what I did before she walked in is I got the girl to hide in the closet. And so what I did before she walked in is I got the girl to hide in the closet. And now she's hiding in the closet. But then she opens the closet. She found her in the closet. And I got my gun. And I pulled my gun. She found her in the closet.
walked in, I got the girl that hide in the closet. And so what I did before she walked in, I got the girl that hide in the closet. And we were making love, and then she walked in. And we were making love, and then she walked in. And so what I did before she walked in is I got the girl to hide in the closet, the closet, the closet, the closet, the closet, the closet, the closet. And now she's hiding in the closet. She found her in the closet, and I got out my gun, and I pulled out my gun. And we were making love, and then she walked in, making love, and then she walked in.
I watched it during lockdown, and it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Because obviously I wasn't appreciating his art or anything, so I gave myself a pass. I was like, this guy's a piece of shit. But this is fucking... But the thing is, it's not meant to be funny.
Yeah,
it's meant to be deadly serious, like a beautiful work of art. And I think there's something... I gave up after about episode 7. They're only like 30 seconds long, but there's like 27 of them.
Oh, fuck.
It's a full... It's mental. But yeah, that's R. Kelly.
Kelly. Scum.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for my fucking life, man.
I watched...
Edward's best mate.
I watched Surviving R. Kelly again the other day. That's fucking... I mean, he is... Yeah. I think he'd fit more into like a cult episode. That fucking guy was
very
doing.
culty.
Yeah.
Fucking mental.
This is the thing with like
it's all about power, isn't it? It's all about elevated power.
And it all stems back as well to like with most of them, it's like something that happened when they were young and a kid, and it's like it's not an excuse because it happens to loads of people and they all get over it. But it's some weird little thing that they've got in them, and they're like, oh, do you know what? Like, I'm gonna fucking make the world suffer for it.
Yeah.
That thing is that like the difference between a villain and a hero is they've always got like the backstory. But the hero chooses to not let it happen to people, whereas the villain's like, I'm going to do it to everyone.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a very interesting balance, and it actually ties it. I watched because you guys mentioned it. The 3 Identical Strangers. I gave that a watch.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man, that was another. I mean, the other day I had a new carpet fit, so I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to watch documentaries while he fits the carpet because there's too much banging to do any recording. So I just had a documentary day, and I watched that, and it was fucking mind blowing. And very interesting question that it posed, wasn't it, about the nature, nurture, and all that sort of. I mean, the moral was fucking horrendous, but
I can't remember.
I
can't remember the. Did they come to a conclusion about that with the nature nurture?
Not. It kind of contradicted itself.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because it said, because obviously it was more about they were testing the parents and the level of the parents and stuff, and in society, and it dictated that. No, initially it dictated that there was no difference and that it was nature because the boys were all so similar. But then as it dug deeper and below the surface, they realised just how different they were, and actually it was nurture that changed it. So in the same thing, they said a bit of both. So that's quite an interesting question, actually. Anyone down below, do you think nature or nurture? It's certainly... I personally believe that it is a mix of both.
Yeah, same.
I think that especially with like serial killers and things like that, I think there's something in you, but it's the nurture that brings it out. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure there are serial killers out there, had lovely upbringings, and so they never
haven't they
triggered
got
it.
I don't know if I'm making this up, but isn't there
a killer gene?
A killer gene, yeah.
There is.
So that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, like say, but you could have it.
Imagine being tested for that.
That's what I mean. If you found that out and you're
I
like,
actually reckon I've got it.
Yeah, it's weird,
think
isn't it?
push come to shove.
Yeah, I reckon I was snapped. I reckon I could do it.
Just look straight at fucking Ben.
Goodbye, Ben.
I reckon I could do it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I reckon I could. It's because he was laughing. I honestly reckon I do.
Someone laughed at me once.
I do reckon I could pull the trigger.
No, I do. I massively regret it, but it's that moment in it of like being.
But what if you did it and you didn't?
Yeah,
That's what I
if you
thought.
revelled in it.
What if you just pulled the trigger and felt nothing?
Yeah, it's like,
Whoa.
Well, then that's when you become.
I reckon if you give me a bottle of vodka, mate, I'd definitely, because I wouldn't remember. That's the thing. But
difference between Dan
wake up in Germany covered in blood.
If you give me a bottle of vodka, I think, and if you give me a bottle of vodka and you're like someone's dead, I'll be like, oh fuck.
There we go
by the way,
again.
are we talking? It's not a serial. Is it a serial killer gene or is it just a killer gene?
I think
There's two genes.
I think it's actually a psychopath. Gene.
I don't
sure.
think I've got the serial killer one, but
Just
I
the
reckon,
one.
Bang, you just slap that in Google. It's just like, is there a killer gene?
Once enough for me.
Is where it's like,
And one and done.
no, you're full of shit. It's like, oh, sorry. But yeah, I reckon I could.
So it's known as a warrior gene. So I think it's based off,
caveman days.
Yeah. So like instinct.
Because apparently we've only got as far as we've got because of psychopaths in the past. Like you needed in tribes, you needed that one fucking animal that would go out and take on saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah, you like back in the day, you like say
that's one animal.
Yeah, you'd have
survived.
to. The only it's like violence with violence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like if a tribe or whatever comes to you, then you've all got to fight. There's no. Yeah, you have to be a fucking absolute beast.
But it's funny because that is literally the world that we live in right now. It's just been like
masked over.
It's like we don't see what's going on.
Yeah,
like, that is like the leaders are. That's how it is. Like
if you strip it down,
the tribe's fighting. It's still all going on. It's just we don't see it. They're doing it covert in ships, submarines, air. It doesn't get put out on the news. Like
we get misinformation.
We're made to watch the football on the weekend, and we really care about that. But it's like it's just because we're not.
You divert your stuff. It's weird. Even like primals in like I watch my cats all the time and they're always fighting. Yeah, and I'm like because it's so primal, and I'm like I think when I was younger and you have like scraps and that when you're younger, and like afterwards, obviously you sometimes get beat up, sometimes you don't, but like afterwards there is a weird like there's that horrible feeling, that adrenaline rush before it. Yeah, but it is in us.
Oh my god,
to do it. Yeah, but it's like I say, it's and it gets squeezed out of you. Like now, I would I'd avoid any fights because I just wouldn't want to. But maybe that's a thing with age or whatever. But like when you're younger, it's like it's a thing that's in you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like with sparring and things like that. Like once you get punched in the face, and you get past that. Oh shit! Actually, I'm not gonna break here.
Yeah.
And then it just like unlocks something. It's very primal.
Yeah. It hurts, but I'm not gonna. Sometimes it's there's a thing about a fight or right. It's like. It's the worrying about it. Yeah. Actually being in it, it's fine. You're adrenaline. Like, you don't even feel it. Yeah. But it's the
APMA UFC coming soon.
That's it. The next morning, you feel like you've been hit by a truck.
Oh yeah.
But in the moment,
maybe that's why I like sports. Like we still got a. Like, I love football, and it's like, but you get wound up at football, don't you? You're like your adrenaline's going, and you're taking people out, and they're taking you out, and it's like.
Yeah, and the competition.
I feel like you need the fix, don't you? You need the fix of it, though. You need that. Otherwise, I think that's when people can explode.
It's like built up tension.
Because like I say, these people, they're usually like loners. They don't, it's like they just
need a game of footy.
Exactly, or like just to compete for sports. Like I think sports is such a valuable thing for kids growing up and stuff. Like you learn how to lose. You learn how to take shit talk, everything in the game. It is not just football, in any sports. Like
it's a bit primal, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where you learn it.
Like if I run up to you now and like shoulder bite you into the you can be like, what the fuck are you doing? But like in football, it's like it's fine. You can have that, but not go to the full extent of a of a scrap.
But then again, there was that football player who did kill the guy. There was like the American football player, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Hernandez?
Yeah, he just needed some more training.
Yeah, he just
he had too much going on.
Yeah,
Some people can't be saved.
Too much going on.
He had.
My schedule's so busy.
He had a double dose of that gene.
Yeah.
I think that's
my man and dad had
we
it.
should do another sports star murderers episode. I know we did footballers, but I think
sports star.
if we were sports stars, we could
get OJ Simpson in there.
Yeah. Did he do it?
The juice.
Yeah. If the glove doesn't fit, acquit.
Must acquit.
Yeah. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah.
He said that. He did.
His lawyer.
His lawyer.
Because the glove they found, he tried it on, and it didn't fit.
Yeah.
But he had another glove, a forensic glove on, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, to me, it looked like he was just like stretching his hand out, so he couldn't actually get it on. But
did you?
I like the saying though.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's
dad
was the was the lawyer.
So Robert Kardashian, that's who said that.
Yeah,
Mad.
and
That's a good.
Kim Kardashian now is becoming a lawyer. Yeah, she's like going through all the
through the bar.
For it, yeah.
That I know. I guess it's a little bit. Well, it's not conspiracy-esque at all. But like, how the fuck the Kardashians became like the royal family of the US is fucking mental. Like their mum is probably single-handedly the greatest marketer of all time.
Yeah.
They went from a sex tape to fucking billionaires.
Yeah.
I watched a podcast with Caitlyn Jenner earlier on, and like her story is just mental.
Is it?
Yeah, it's proper crazy. Like, I never really watch all that stuff because I'm not really into the Kardashians and shit. But like, actually, listening to Caitlyn Jenner is just crazy.
Because she grew up
fair play.
being filmed a whole life, didn't she?
It's
crazy.
like it's
From
like
day
an
dot.
Olympian, Olympian gold medalist.
What's the event? It's the one where it's like 5 different events, isn't it? Heptathlon or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you have to master so many different.
But it's really
things.
interesting listening to Caitlyn Jenner talk about that whole thing, and just
Imagine being in that circle. Like, it must just be a fucking.
Yeah. But then I was listening
coaster.
to it, and she was with OJ, like friends with like OJ Simpson and the wife.
Yeah.
But then I was like, the lawyer was Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, so he must have been on. Yeah, he must have been on the peripheral.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
one of them.
Yeah, because then obviously, Chris.
Crazy world.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah,
crazy.
I think that's one thing we have learnt from today's episode. We've dipped into a few conspiracies, but ultimately we've come out realising that the world is fucking mental. And our king was really close. Our future king was really close mates with Savile. So
they're all nonsense anyway, don't we?
Guys, grab yourself a black on black APMA t-shirt because it's fucking sick. It's clean. It's subtle.
Sexy.
It's just.
It is sexy.
It's great. Check it out. All right. VIPs, you got yourself a little discount code. Maybe fucking flutter that on this. Do you know what I mean? If you have not a VIP, maybe you might want to become a VIP. Hit that join button. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you very soon for more midweekers, more episodes, and more specials. Up the APMA.
Up the APMA.
Yeah.